Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on another video. Dave and Alex here, and today we're going to take a look at the Tron Legacy Ultimate Sam Flynn and Ultimate CLU figures. So awesome. Alright guys, so we came across a huge find today. If you follow our channel, you know that we're huge fans of Tron and Tron Legacy. So we've done several videos on different figures in the past, the Diamond Select Tron figures, some of the other Spin Master figures from Tron Legacy and other scales. But today we found the Ultimate figures, which are like 12-inch scale figures. Came across these at a Game Swap store, and if you're not familiar with that, that's like a store that sells like retro games, older console type games, even new console games, and game consoles, movies, music, toys. I mean, anything you can think of, pretty much they have there. And they had these at a really good price, and the manager gave us a good deal on them since we bought both of them. So it was really good. And the boxes are kind of beat up, but they are still sealed. They've never been opened, so that's really cool. Really cool find, you know, because these came out in 2010, so they've been floating around for 13 years, and it's getting harder to find this Tron Legacy stuff.
Yeah, we're both big, like, huge fans of Tron Legacy. Honestly, I think this movie might actually be my favorite movie of all time. It's a close race with this and Spider-Man No Way Home. So, you know, we would always love to pick up anything we find that is related to Tron and Tron Legacy, and these figures are just really cool. We couldn't pass up on them, and you know, it's just more fine additions to our Tron collection. And now let's take a closer look at the packaging. They're both fairly similar, pretty much the exact same packaging, besides, you know, the fact of the different image changes of the characters and names and stuff. But they both have this, like, opening Velcro thing, which is pretty cool. Here, let me open CLU's. And it basically shows pretty much what all is with the figure. Like the face projection, figure talks, figure lights up, and then the magnetic baton for the light bike. And, yeah. Pretty much shows the same exact thing for CLU over here, and they both have their little descriptions over here, which is pretty cool. And sadly, if we do try these out, they do not work. So yeah, there's a very high chance that the batteries have corroded in them, which would not be good. And then here we have the back of the boxes, which it pretty much basically shows the exact same thing it showed on the inside of that flap. But what's really cool is that on the sides, we have some pretty cool artwork of the characters.
Alright, so to speed things along, we're going to open these both at the same time. Alright, so we pulled the figures out of the box, and we still have them in the packing sleeve here, where you can see all the accessories attached to that backing. They look pretty cool. These are huge figures, and they have a lot of articulation in them, so can't wait to get them fully unboxed and get them in hand and see how all the articulation and everything works.
Yeah, I really like the look of these figures. I think they look really good.
It looks like, I'm not sure, but it looks like the upper legs light up, but the lower legs just have striping. Like over here, you can see the lower legs have the translucent plastic that comes down. If we can find some batteries, we'll definitely see if we can get one of them to light up. Alright, so we got the figures fully unboxed, and yeah, they're pretty cool looking. Articulation is limited on these. The accessories are really nice. Even some of them, like the disc, the identity disc, is metal. The batons are also metal.
Very high quality, like die-cast metal.
Yeah, the articulation is kind of clunky is the word I would describe it. You don't have a whole lot because just the way the figures are designed. But you got to remember this is back in 2010. And during that point in time, it was probably pretty decent articulation. But overall, I mean, it kind of reminds me of like some of the big Marvel figures they make today, the large toy Marvel figures. But those don't have electronics or lighting or the sound effects or anything like these figures do. So back in 2010, this was like really cool. So, and then one thing I noticed when we got these other packages, that CLU is quite a bit larger than Sam Flynn, which I guess Sam Flynn is, you know, a younger person. So, and then CLU, of course, is a program. So whatever size I guess he was programmed to be is whatever. But he's quite a bit larger than Sam Flynn here in figure form.
Yeah, and the sculpting and like molding and the texture of these figures is really nice. I mean, really, if I didn't know that this was like Spin Master, I mean, you could give me a picture of this, and I would probably think it was like Hot Toys or something. Um, I mean, besides the fact that you can see the like articulation points, then that kind of gives it away. But other than that, the sculpting and the detail is very, very good. I really like it.
And I believe these are the only two figures that they made in the ultimate scale or form as these two. I don't think they made any of their characters, which is a shame because it would have been nice to have had some of the guards or to go with CLU or Rinsler. Would have been nice. But I
Yeah.
believe these two characters here were the only two made. All right, so let's take a closer look at the figures. Let's do CLU. All right, so there you can see the identity disc. It's nice. It has a nice heavy weight. It's almost feels like you have like a 50-cent piece coin in your hand or something because it's like solid, you know, casted metal. The paint apps look really good on this, and so does the casting. So it's really cool. You can also, it fits in his hand nicely. His fingers do have articulation where you can open and close the hand. And then also you can put the identity disc on his back. And it mounts nicely on the back. Now, like we said, articulation is just kind of clunky. You have a shoulder kind of ball joint, and then you have some swiveling in the arms, and then the elbow joint. But the major joints have kind of limited articulation. Like you can only do the elbows that far, and then you can straighten them out. There's no hinges or anything on the wrists. And kind of the same way with the leg. The leg or the knee joint only goes that far. You do have like a little toe crunch there and swiveling going on. And then you have like ball joint hips, hinge type hips. And I'm sure it's because it's limited because the wires have to run down into the legs on these for the lighting. And the other accessories here is the baton. It is metal and it has a magnet point on it, and there is a magnet on the leg here. Well, there is a magnet attachment point on the leg where the baton will stay on the leg, but it is very loose. It will slide down on you if you move the figure at all or twirl around. So you have to be really careful with that. And then the other accessories, the staff, which I think is on the packaging, it lists it, or at least for sampling, it lists it as a katana. But this does not come apart. It has the center part is metal here, and it has two rivets on each end. So this does not come apart. So you just have a large staff. And then you have two more batons here that are linked together with like a plastic core. And I think this is, I mean, even though it's two solid batons, I feel like they're like the figure would be pulling this apart to activate a light cycle or one of the other vehicles from the movie. Instead of it being like nunchucks, I don't think it's meant to be nunchucks.
And then for Sam Flynn here, I don't really think we have to go over the accessories again because he comes with the exact same accessories, just different paint. and different colored plastic. But there is his identity disc on his back, and then, on the front, got pretty much the same articulation going on here. The knees only being able to bend back that far. And then the finger articulation and the toe articulation. And then the head sculpt is different here for the different helmet. And yeah, pretty cool figures.
Okay, so we have removed the battery door, or the cover, to expose the batteries, and there you have 3 button cell batteries in the back. It looks pretty clean on top. We're going to pop them out and see if there's any corrosion underneath. Oh yeah, we got a little bit of corrosion going on that one. But the contact looks clean, so it just corroded on the side there, so.
Oh, that one fell to the ground.
So again, there's just a little bit of corrosion on the battery. I mean, not bad for 13 years. Alright, so we have fresh batteries installed in the figure, and so let's check out and see if it works.
I'm not a program.
Yeah, so it works pretty good.
Really like that.
Yeah, the projection, the what they call it, the impulse projection on the head is really cool.
Yeah.
We gotta work together. It's the only way.
So it uses a series of LEDs, and it projects up into the head or the helmet, and each LED lights up a certain face frame, and it projects it up into the head. So each time he talks, it alternates back and forth between the frames, and I think there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Where am I? Am I on the grid?
The LED lighting on the figure is nice. It goes down in the legs, but on the upper part, there's only an LED, or I don't know if it's 1 or 2 here, but it does not go all the way up. There should have been an LED up in here in the chest too to light up the upper part up here, because up in here is not lighting up very well, unfortunately. But overall, pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we just opened up CLU, and unfortunately, this one is really bad shape. At least one of the battery cells really is a mess in there. So we're going to try to clean that up and see. Hopefully the contact is still intact. But right now, there's so much corrosion, I can't even see the contact down in there. So we're going to try to clean this out and see if the contact is still intact. So that's really bad. Not looking good there. Okay, so we got the corrosion out, and as you can see, the contact for that bottom battery is completely gone. It actually just fell out when we pulled the corrosion out. So now we're going to try to restore this figure, and we're going to take it apart and see if we can clean up that contact and maybe solder it back onto the contact point inside the figure, and see if we can get this working. Other than that, the other 2 contacts, with the one to the right there is a little dirty, but the one to the left there is a little dirty, but the one on top, it looks pretty good. So maybe we can restore this and get it working. I'm hoping so. That way we can listen to what CLU has to say in the impulse projection, and see how his lighting effects work. All right, so here I have the figure fully broken apart or taken apart, and you can see all the parts here. There's a lot to these figures, a lot of wires. There's a chipboard and LED lights. Pretty amazing. And here's a close-up of the chest piece inside the chest piece of the figure, and you can see the chipboard and all the wiring running up to the head. And then here is the outer chest piece with the, there's one LED light in this, and it lights up the whole top of the figure, which kind of explains why it's dim in some spots. It uses that translucent plastic to spread the light out, and that explains why it's kind of dim. I was expecting at least 2 LEDs in this area. And there's a picture of the leg and the wires running to the leg, and there's a LED down inside the leg. And here is the headpiece. I got the battery contacts soldered back on, so I got power, but I ran into another problem. There's no sound. And I inspected the little speaker, and it looks like it's got a lot of corrosion in it. I don't know if liquid or something got in it, but the wires were completely corroded off the speaker, even inside the speaker.
Thunder is our destiny.
Okay, so I found a replacement driver from a broken headphone set we had that was similar size. It wasn't exact, but I wired it up and got it to work. So I was really happy about that. All right, so we got the figure fully reassembled, the Flynn figure, and it's fully operational now. So our little operation was a success. We got the battery lead soldered back on. Then after we got it work, well, we got lights back and the impulse projection worked, but there was no sound. So as I showed you in the little slideshow, the speaker was bad, so we replaced that. And now it is fully functional. So let's give it a little test.
Thunder is our destiny. So, you like bikes?
So you can see the lights go all the way down through the legs and through the chest, and then the face lights up with that impulse projection that these figures are known for. And I think there's 5 or 6 different fonts that the figure plays.
What you deserve. So, you like bikes? Greetings, programs!
And here's a little comparison. Here is Sam Flynn, and we're going to show the lights of Sam Flynn.
Some things are worth the risk.
You can tell there that the sound is a little bit louder on Sam Flynn because I just don't think that headphone driver is as powerful as the speaker it came with. But
Where am I? Am I on the grid?
at least it works. And the lighting looks a lot better on Sam Flynn, but it's probably because it's a lighter.
I'm not a program.
The color is lighter, so it travels through the figure better than the yellow or amber color that's. All right, so there you can see the figures and how they work, and I'm so happy that we got Flynn fixed up and he's fully operational now.
Clue.
Oh yeah, that's right, Clue. Yeah, if you're a fan of the movie and you collect Tron stuff, I highly recommend these if you haven't gotten them already. I mean, we've seen them a couple times, but not a whole lot. All right, guys, that wraps up this video. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and leave us a comment down below and tell us what you think of these 2 Tron figures. They're pretty awesome, I think. If you're a fan of the movie, like I said a while ago, I highly recommend them. If you're into collecting Tron stuff, these are pretty cool. So, Alex? Oh, and also, if you want to help support our channel, please hit that join button or send us a super thanks, and you would help support what we do here, and we could make more videos. So we'd highly appreciate that. Alex, take us out.
End of line.